For today's project, I'm going to be creating this landscape desktop calendar. Not only am I going to be able to customize it, but I'm also adding the feature of having scratch offs. So there's a little joke and then a scratch off area to reveal the answer. Hi everyone, I'm Mindy Eggen and welcome to my channel. I would love it if you subscribed, liked this video, and shared it with your friends. A lot of these products that I'm going to be using today comes from Tailored Expressions. I have the Landscape Desktop Calendar for 2024. I also have these little square pieces that are going to decorate my calendar. This is Moo-la-la, and there's a little area there to reveal the joke, and then also these scratch off stickers, which I thought was super fun. Then I also have a walnut wood display for my calendar. And then I have these square stacklets. So a closer look at this square calendar, these are super cute. I saw Taylor do these in a video, so a lot of this is heavily inspired by Taylor. And I thought they were really fun because you have a joke at the top and then a scratch off area at the bottom, which we will be applying later on in the video. But I thought these were a really fun way to display a calendar on a desk. And then it's just something interactive that a person can scratch off. I plan on giving these to the girls in the office at the middle school because I think they'd really get a kick out of them. Now, I am quickly coloring in the images with my Olo markers. I will let you know that there are some areas I oversaturated and it bled onto my image. So be aware you don't need to really go into huge detail while coloring. You just need to quickly lay some color down. These are not really meant to be artistically done. They're just something really fun, and you can just add little bits of color to them. So I did a few of them on screen here. The rest I did off screen, and I changed up some of the colors. So I have maybe more of a light blue and light green or teal blue. I did some with some darker shades. So I really just kind of mixed it up so there was a variety that they could look at throughout the year. They weren't all going to be the same. And all 12 of these are different pictures, different jokes. So something to have them look forward to each month when they flip the calendar. Now, what I did is I put them in groupings. So all of the same color pieces I put in one group, and then I just alternated. So it was different for at least the first 3 or 4 months, and then it would start back at the beginning with my different kind of color blends, just to kind of change it up. Then this is the 2024 Landscape Desk Calendar. So the month is on the right-hand side, and then we have our open area on the left for our image. Now I'm going to be going through and grabbing a stencil. I just wanted to show you my storage for my stencils that I've been using. This is the Simple Storage Binder from Tailored Expressions. They also have these inserts. You can see I bought a couple packs, but I haven't quite gotten them out to use them yet. You can place these in between your stencils to organize them in your binder. And then there's also labels that you can add to the tabs. I haven't quite really decided how I want to separate mine. I kind of like them in alphabetical order because then I can kind of find it a little easier, but I also like the colorful dividers and also by holiday maybe or by theme. So I just wanted to show you those that is an option in those binders. So when Taylor had done her example, she used this Cool Pool rotating stencil. And I thought that was absolutely genius because it kind of resembles the spots on a cow, and I loved that. So that is why I brought out my binder to search for my stencil. Now, instead of having to worry about wiping up a mess all the time, I am taking this grid paper and I'm taping it down to my glass surface. I'm going to bring in my first one, so my January desktop calendar. I placed some Post-it tape behind it to hold it down onto my work surface there. And then I'm going to figure out where I need to mask off because I really only need to do blending on the left-hand side. So I brought in some Post-it tape and I'm using the grid lines on my grid mat to make sure that my Post-it tape is straight. Now, after I do the first one here, the rest of them are going to go super quick because I'm going to pretty much leave everything in place. I just need to switch out my calendar. So I'm bringing in the stencil. I placed that over that area on the left-hand side, held that down at the top with that Post-it tape. And I also have a piece down towards the bottom. Now I'm going to be ink blending with the Oreo ink from Tailored Expressions and also a blending brush. I know in her example, I believe she used a VersaFine Clair, which is a super, super dark black. I was a little worried that it would take a while to dry, which is why I'm just going to go with the Oreo ink. She also had done kind of this fade where it's dark on one side and then it kind of fades off to the right. I did do that for a couple of them, but after a while, I actually really liked having the entire left-hand side filled in, so I do switch it up after a while. So I brought in one of those squares just to see how much more I needed to blend on, added a little bit more ink, and then once I can finish this, I am going to remove just the bottom Post-it tape. I didn't even put it on this one. I do sometimes put Post-it tape at the bottom, but really I want to leave the Post-it tape at the top attached. I just kind of folded it up. Then I'm going to peel back that piece that was masking off my calendar, leaving that there, just folding that back, and then I can just remove my calendar. So after a while, it started to become a rhythm for me. Instead of the Post-it tape there at the bottom, I used repositionable tape, added that to that grid work surface, and then I'm using the area that I have, or the inked up area on my grid sheet, to line up my next calendar. I then brought back up that Post-it tape to mask off that right-hand side and then flipped my stencil down. And this made creating these calendars go so quick and easy. I had originally toyed with the idea of doing rainbow colors of these spots, but since this kind of worked out so nice where I could just flip and remove things real quick, I decided to just stick with the black and white, and I'm going to incorporate rainbow colors somewhere else on these calendars. Now, what I really love about these is that you can change up your colors. You can change up your stencil. It doesn't have to be these cow prints. Anything would look really cute back here. And these calendars, I think, are going to make great gifts. And it can be all year long. You don't have to wait till the end of the year or January. You can start in March and make these calendars for them. I definitely am going to be picking up more of these calendars because they were just really fun to create. And I want to try and add some different stencils that coordinate more with the month. Now, one thing I do want to caution is make sure you are wiping your hands on a baby wipe or something in between working on each calendar. I did notice I got a black smudge on one of my calendar pieces and I tried to erase it. For the most part, it came off, but just be sure to be wiping your hands in between each calendar so you're not getting your smudges on there. Now, these calendars are really fun as is, but I'm going to bring in this square tear-off calendar stacklet. There are 3 dies in here. I picked the middle one and decided that I was going to mat all of my images. So I went through, I dug out a rainbow color of cardstock from Tailored Expressions. I don't remember them all offhand, but I will have them linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. So it's going to give me just this really nice border around that image. I'm going to just take my tape runner, add that to the back of these little square image pieces, I can't remember what they were called, and add them to my colorful mat. Then I'm going to be popping them up. Now, I had used a mixture of foam squares and just the thick foam pieces, these foam strips. So I just kind of mixed it up, but I did pop each of them up. Now, obviously, you don't have to add the foam tape if you don't want to. You can just attach it straight to your card front, or maybe just add an extra piece of cardstock to pop it up a little. I just really like having the dimension to it, especially if I'm not going to be mailing these. It's a great time for me to be able to add that dimension and lift. So I removed the backing of the foam tape, and I'm adding it to the front of the calendar. So I just made sure that the margins were even on the right-hand side, and then I made sure that I am leaving room at the bottom so that my woodblock display is not covering any part of my image. I went through and finished up the remaining pieces with all of my colors. Now, there are some colors I had to kind of duplicate to get through the 12 months. I did like a red and a pink. I did a couple different shades of orange and greens and blues. So I just really had fun creating the rainbow with those mats. Now, there are other calendars available too. These ones are super cute because, for one, I just thought they were really neat how they were interactive with that scratch off feature, which I will show you in a moment. But there is other ones like I think there's Grumpy. One of the Grumpies, I think, is one of them. I actually have that. I just don't have another calendar. So there's a lot of different ways you can create your calendar too. They don't have to be landscape. There are some that are in portrait. There are different ways to display the calendar. So lots of great options. Now these are these scratch off stickers. So you will need these if you get this cow version. And these literally are just a sticker. All you need to do is peel one off and place it over that grayed area on the bottom of our image, or right underneath our image. You can see there's kind of that long rounded rectangle piece that's kind of grayed out. So you just place it over the top. Now I'm not going to scratch one off on camera because I'm giving these to a teacher. So what they'll just need to do, and I'll let them know when I give it to them, is they can just scratch that area off. There were quite a few of these scratch offs in the packet, so this would be really fun to maybe stamp your own kind of sentiment maybe on a card and then add this scratch off sticker over the top. Now I'm going to kind of walk through just each one of them. Obviously, it's just the calendar on the right-hand side. They all look the same except for the change of the month. But the images are all different in this pack, and all the different sayings and jokes are different. I love how there's a change up. There's single cows. There's a group of them. So just a lot of really fun images. I didn't read through all of the jokes on here, but I did read through some of them. I think it's going to give the people in the office a really good laugh. So you can see I went through the color, the rainbow. I went through colors of the rainbow. You could use scratch cardstock for this. You don't have to do rainbow. If you want to do them all the same color, that works too. I just thought these were really fun. These were meant to be done before Christmas break, and I just never got around to it. So as I was organizing my space, I found these tucked on the side, and I just sat down and did these one day. Did not take me very long to do them all, and they turned out great. Now, I did save the packaging that these calendars came in because I'm going to put all of my additional months in there, and I'm going to leave January kind of on top. So that way they have all of the months together and ready to go throughout the year. So one quick thing I want to let you know about, because I think these are super cool and genius. So in your orders, whenever you place an order with Tailored Expressions, you get a freebie. And last year it was these little coin dies. This year it is these little postage stamp images. You get a red rubber stamp and then you get a little sticker. So this one is for January 2024. Now they came out with additional products for collecting these. So here is this I'm just going to call it a board for now because you can place that sticker on each of those months to show that you're collecting them. And then there is the pretty postage die if you want to do some fun things with your stamped images and add them to your card projects. So I just thought that was really fun, and I didn't want you to miss out on any of these cool products. I hope you enjoyed today's video and this has given you some ideas to maybe create some calendars this year. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I will have all of my supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. See you again real soon.